In this video, I'm going to take you from a blank canvas to a complete subscription e-commerce app. Your app will allow you to accept credit card payments, a customer and admin dashboard, a free and pro version, plus all the features you want, all without coding. What is up, party people? My name is Daryl Wilson. Today in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to use Lovable AI to create stunning e-commerce app websites. Lovable AI is an AI platform that easily allows you to create websites, applications, or virtually anything you can think of. In this video, I'll show you more of the intermediates to advanced methods on how to create efficient applications with AI. You can apply these methods to create any kind of application you want using AI. So I've created dozens of applications with Lovable, and I've really narrowed down prompting to a science. And with this prompt, it's going to be the most optimal way to create any kind of application you want for your business. Today, I'll walk you through how to create a complete TOS website that allows visitors to instantly generate a privacy policy or terms and conditions for their e-commerce websites or business websites. Your customers will answer a series of questions about where their business is located and what kind of products they're selling. After answering a few questions, they'll be able to instantly download a free template that they can use for their own business. Every user who visits my website can use the basic free features and have their own personal My Account section. Pretty cool. Also, every user who has a free account on my website can also have the option to upgrade to the Pro version if they want to utilize my Pro features. And of course, I'm going to be offering Pro features because I want to make some money. It's really simple. Customers can upgrade to the Pro plan, and they're also given a variety of Pro features. For my Pro features, users can build their entire TOS form from scratch. They can add in their own signatures, drag and drop elements, upload images. They can also select from a variety of styles and download their TOS in many different format styles. Users will need to subscribe and pay $10 a month in order to access all the Pro features. If the user stops paying, they will automatically be downgraded to the free version. Now here's the thing, creating prompts, it's kind of like a skill, right? If you just go to Lovable right now and you just enter in like, make me this, you're not gonna get what you want. So I'll be showing you how to create optimal prompts that will create really efficient applications. Me and my team have generated prompts based off Lovable's recommendations. We tuned it up for more clarity and we fixed known common issues. This will give you a faster, better experience when creating websites or apps with AI. So by the end of this video, you'll be able to create any type of e-commerce app you want using Lovable AI, and you'll be accepting credit card payments from all around the world. So I've been using Lovable for the last year and a half, and I built some incredible applications. I'm currently on one of their highest tier plans, which is the Pro plan, where we spend about $500 a month, and we spend about 1,500 credits creating applications. So basically, I know how the AI works. Now here are some applications that I personally created. I created a 3D turn-based video game inspired by Final Fantasy. Users can take turns and it works just like the real game. I also created a 2D version, which I thought was really cool. I also created my own search engine and integrated the Perplexity API. And I actually made my website really biased by blocking websites like Forbes and Bloomberg from my search results. I created a giant conversion website that allows you to convert any type of file and video files. You can also reduce the size of video files and images on my websites. So yeah, I made a lot of apps. It's actually a lot of fun as well. It really is. So let's get started. Now there is a link to Lovable AI in the video description. This will take us to Lovable where we can start creating apps with AI. Okay, and this is lovable.dev, and this is the tool that we're going to use to make stunning AI websites. Now, before we jump into anything else, let me first explain what kind of app that we're going to create, the features, and then also explain what other apps I built using this same application. Now, this is the app that we are going to create, and just remember, after learning how to create this specific type of app, you can create virtually any type of app you want using AI. The users also have their own custom dashboard. They have their own Pro features. You can offer subscription payments. In this specific case, the user is a Pro member where we are giving them Pro features where they can actually use a visual document editor and they can drag and drop elements here. They can even sign this with their signature and place it wherever they want. So let me give you a quick walkthrough of how this works and then also how to maybe upsell Pro features. Now, real quick, you can access this same website in the video description just in case you want to tinker around with it and explore it yourself. But here I'll click on generate legal policies and it brings the user to a wizard. Now the user is going to have to enter in their business information. Now you can also offer upsells right here on every specific step. In this specific case, I am trying to get them to upgrade to the Pro for $1, but they can always use the free version. So here we go. We're going to put in my website name, legal entity, the states, and then I'll click on next. The next step is entering their data practices. So what do they do on their website? What kind of information do they collect? Here I'll select emails, payment information. We also use cookies, and then I'll click on next. The next option is e-commerce details. So what type of business do you operate? Well, here I'll go ahead and select one. We create digital products. We offer refunds. Accept returns, well, we don't because that's a digital product, right? Duh. Here I'll select include liability waiver. And then I'll click on next. And the last step is to review the information. So here we have business info, enabled features, and then here it's letting us know what kind of documents they're going to generate for us. I'll scroll to the bottom and click on generate documents. Okay, and once that's done, the website will actually generate the documents for our users. So here we have a privacy policy, and the user can actually go ahead and just scroll down, copy all of this, and then paste it on their websites. We also generated a TOS for them where they can copy this and paste it on their websites. Just in case they don't want to do that, they can also download this onto their computer and they can, upload it to wherever they want to showcase their TOS. They can also click on email and they can email it directly to anyone they want in this really nice, clean format. I do love this. That's really cool, right? I'll go ahead and close that. Now let's say, okay, they generated the form, right? But I want them to create an account. I want to save their information and I want somewhere where they can store their information. Well, let's do that. Here, click on save and create accounts. And now the user will be prompted to actually create an account. Now, when the user generates the form, all the information will be automatically stored in their account for download. Okay, so I'll go ahead and create an account. I'll click on create an account. Okay, so once the user creates an account, it'll automatically bring them to their dashboard. Here they can view their total documents. It'll show that their account is active and they are on the free version. We also have options to upgrade to the pro. Under the documents section, the users can actually view their documents right here. But if they want to download it, that's part of a pro feature. The settings, the user can update their personal information, they can view their billing information, they can delete their account, and then also change their email. If I click on Pro Features, you're gonna see that we have a variety of Pro features to offer. We have a visual document editor. Now, what I did in my specific case is I wanted to actually give them a taste of this. I want to show them what they can do in the Pro feature, but I don't want them to download the actual form. So I restricted that, right? Pretty clever. So I'm giving them a taste of it, but I'm not letting them, use it. So here they can actually select like an elements. They can type in whatever they want, right? Also, we can add in a paragraph. They can upload their own logo. They can create a signature. They can add it to the form. And then also they can even select the policy that they created. Now, when they create a policy, it's going to automatically pull that policy and then they can select it right here and then they can print this out. Now, I chose to just show a preview because obviously this was too long. On my other application, I actually showed the entire thing and I'll walk you through that in just a bit. The user can also select a logo. So here I have this logo and I'll open this and then I can drag and drop it onto the form or they can, customize it and stuff like that. So if we scroll down also, we do have a variety of other pro features that they can unlock. So yeah, you can offer as many pro features as you want and it's actually really easy to do it with AI. Now, okay, so we got this, but let's say, for example, you want the user to upgrade to the Pro version. Well, how do we do that? Here, click on Upgrade to Pro, and now we have a pricing option. So we have the free plan, and then we have the Pro. Users can pay with credit card, and they can also pay with PayPal. Integrating payment gateways on this platform is really simple. It takes one prompt, and you're done. So here, click on Upgrade to Pro. Now, it's going to redirect users automatically to Stripe where they can enter in their own information. All right. And after that, I'll click on subscribe. Now these users will be charged on a monthly basis. So you can choose to charge users on a weekly basis, a monthly basis, or even annually if you want to go that route. So right now it's processing the credit card. Now once the user pays, it'll then redirect them back to their dashboard. And now they are on the Pro plan and it lets them know that the Pro features are activated. Below that, the user now has the option to use all of the features here where they can, do all this stuff. They can type whatever they want, and then they can export this as a PDF document. All right, there we go. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now I have also created different variations of this same specific website. So this is another one I created. This is, just another tool. And under the dashboard, we also have a visual editor. Click on Pro Features, and the user can also do the same thing, enter in their name, and it updates in real time. They can enter in their company name. They can also upload a logo. Okay, here it is. Okay, and they can drag it around. And then also they can select from their saved policies and then add it, and then they can just, place it. And then also they can create a signature. They can download it, confirm it, and then place it right there, just like that. So I think you get the point, right? So you can create any type of features you want with this application. Now, I am somewhat of an AI pro, so let me show you some other products that you can create and that I've created with this same application. So this is another one that I created. This is the AI resume creator. And what I did here was allow users to enter in their own information. And this creates a really nice professional resume that they can download. Also, I decided to create different templates. So if we actually select something and scroll down, it has pre-made templates that the user can select, making it just easier for the user, because you know how it is making a resume. You need ideas and inspiration. So with this right here, I just decided to just create different styles and variations. So you can create this same application with Lovable. I've also created a file converter. Now this website can literally convert anything that you can possibly think of. Under convert, you can convert any video file, audio, images, PDF, GIFs, and even units. For example, for image converter, I'll just give you a quick demonstration. I'll choose the file. Here we have a picture of me. This is a JPEG. I'll choose the file. And then I can change this to like PNG and click on convert. I'll click on download. And here it goes. And now it is a PNG file. We also have more options where they can compress the image. They can make it smaller. We can sharpen the image and a whole lot more. So this website right now I'm currently working on, and even in the customer dashboard, we actually have everything synced up. The user can see their storage data, their subscription details, their storage information, and conversion history. It is in alpha right now. As you can tell, it's working, but we have to fix some bugs. But overall, you can create the same type of tool with Lovable. We've also created a page builder. Believe it or not, guys, I got really bored one day and I wanted to build my own page builder. Here, for example, I'll just walk you through this. Now, I built this myself. This might actually replace WordPress one day. Who knows? Who knows? Here, I can drag in a heading. We can change this to Daryl Wilson. And if we scroll down, we can drag in text. And I can also upload images. So here I can upload an image, and then I can choose an image. I'll just select the picture of me again, click on open, upload and use, and there's the picture of me. Now I can also like create new rows. So I can drag this under here, and then I can completely build an entire page from scratch using Lovable. Don't ask me how I did this. I don't know. I just got really bored one day and I just started messing with things, and now it's like turning into this whole project, right? Another thing that you can make is an automated lead email generator that automatically sends emails to new businesses on Google Maps. Now here, I'll click on generate email, and you can charge for this. So for example, if customers want to be able to generate emails for their customers, they can use this website, and this will automatically create generated emails. Now you can combine this with N8N, and you can send automated emails to new businesses on Google Maps. Now that's a whole nother ballpark, and that's a whole nother video. So maybe I'll make a video on that, but you can definitely integrate automation with this specific tool. Another one that I created was just a directory website. So this is a directory website, and users can select on specific AI tools. They can visit, the tool, and then they can purchase it or whatever. Essentially, this is better for like an affiliate marketing kind of thing where they can click on it and you can make a commission. We also have a scraper where you can actually scrape specific businesses or images and place them on the directory. Now, just in case you guys don't want to make something too techy and you want something more fun, you can create video games. Yes, I created 3 different video games with this tool. This is actually a game inspired by Final Fantasy. Now, here we actually have attacks where we can attack the evil Gutenberg. I can actually select auto battle, and my users will actually select. You will see on the bottom of the screen that we are hurting the boss. You'll see his HP dropping, and now it's his turn. And he attacks really hard. So you'll see my unit's HPs is dropping right here. And yeah. Now, after we win, we can actually sign a leaderboard and add our name there. So we basically made a complete turn-based RPG game using this platform. Now, I actually made another game as well, and this was actually the same type of game, except this is more of a 2D motion where we are essentially attacking the evil Gutenberg. For those of you who don't know, Gutenberg is actually WordPress's native page builder, Gutenberg, and it is a really terrible page builder, and everyone knows it, so yeah, that's there. There we go. He has an AoE attack. Look at that. He's attacking all my party members at one time. And don't worry, I'll be giving you many different ideas on how you can create really cool applications with Lovable and AI. So with that said, let's get started. Okay, so next let's talk about pricing. So what is this going to cost me to build an e-commerce app? Here at the top, I'll click on pricing. So here we have 4 plans. We have the free, the pro, the business, and the enterprise. Now, you're not gonna build an application on the free plan. There's just no way. You're gonna have to get at least the pro or better. Now, the pro plan is probably your best option. You do get the same amount of credits on the pro and the business plan. The business gives you more options for like personal projects and training and stuff, things that you don't really need. I think the pro plan is the best optimal plan for beginners. Now here you have credits. Now personally, the AI apps that I showed you, I built that in maybe around 113 credits. So I think 100 is kind of cutting it short. 200 credits, I do believe like that will give you a lot more comfort and it gives you a little bit more room for error. So personally, I would recommend to get 200 credits if you're getting started out. But if you can't afford that, you can always go with 100 credits. So go through the checkout process. Here you'll click on Get Started. Then you're gonna create an account with Lovable and then go through the checkout process. Now, once you do that, I'll then meet you back on the Lovable website. So once you go through the checkout process, it should bring you back to the Lovable website and it'll actually log you in here at the top right. Now, in case you're curious, I'm actually paying about $480 for my plan. I spend about 2,000 credits a month. So as you can see, I'm quite a junkie with AI. So next, let's talk about the 10-step process to create your application. Now, we created this Evernote here. You can actually have access to this Evernote. I'll put a link in the video description and we're gonna follow each step one by one. The first step is to brainstorm an idea. And don't worry, I'll walk you through a process on how to create really creative apps with AI. The next is the 4-phase process. This is essentially where we're gonna create the prompt and then we're gonna give it to Lovable. And this is the 4-phase process. So the first phase is design, the second is logic, third is building the core features, and then phase 4 is polishing and deploy. After we actually create everything and everything's set up, we're then going to connect Supabase. Supabase is the database. Now, whenever you enter anything on the website, like emails or someone fills out a contact form or they enter in some information, all that information will be stored in your database and the AI will automatically generate your database for you. The database is also referred to as the backend. So every website must have a backend where all the info is stored. The next step is we're gonna implement security fixes and bugs. And don't worry, this is actually really simple. We just tell the AI, hey, debug the websites, and they do it for us in 1 second. Now you're gonna discover that whenever you add features or you make changes on your website, you should always debug the app just in case there's nothing wrong. You're gonna find that a lot of the time that you're gonna be debugging your website a lot, so you're gonna get used to that. And step 5 is creating your adjustments and changes. Now, this is where you're gonna spend a majority of your time adjusting and fine-tuning the app and building it how you want. However, we've created a starter prompt for all of you. We've discovered that a lot of the time in creating these applications, it makes very common problems, and we created this large starter prompt in order to fix a lot of these issues. So all you're gonna do is copy this starter prompt after you create your application, paste it into Lovable, and it's gonna clean up a lot of the issues that are created with AI. For example, the header elements, many of the times the links don't work. Also, we want to create a customer dashboard, create an admin dashboard, make sure the websites sync up with the dashboard and the admin dashboard, and so on and so forth. We'll talk more about the starter prompt when we create the application. Now, once you actually create your website and everything is to your liking, then we implement the pro features. Now, I highly recommend to implement the pro features later. So basically create a free version of your website. And after we do that, then we'll ask the AI to generate all the pro features. And Lovable is actually really good at generating pro features because it can study your website and the structure and implement them throughout the website without making massive changes. So I personally recommend to add in pro features after you build your websites or your application, whatever you're trying to build. Scrolling down here, we then implement payment gateways. Now we have step 6, and that is optimizing the website. So after you basically build your website and everything's set up, you'll then optimize it for mobile. It's actually really easy to do that. It takes maybe like 10 minutes. It's not too hard. After that, we'll implement fixes and debug again. Debug, debug, debug. You guys are gonna find that debugging is the way. After that, we're gonna create finishing touches. We'll also beta run the app. Now, this is the thing. When you actually make the app and you think everything's working, start doing weird things on your application. Start doing weird stuff. And a lot of the times you're gonna find that there's errors in random places. And I know people aren't supposed to be doing specific things, but you just wanna make sure that everything is working to your liking. And number 10, launch website and make money. We're all watching this video, damn it, because we all want to make money. I'm so tired of all these fake gurus making money on the internet. It's our turn. It's our turn, damn it. All right, so we're gonna follow this same 10-step process when generating applications. Now that we know the 10-step process, let's hop on over to ChatGPT. All right, party people, so in this part of the video, I'm gonna walk you through how to create applications from scratch using the 4-phase Lovable process. Now, Lovable recommends that you use a 4-phase process to create applications, and you can enter them phase by phase, or you can enter them all in one specific prompt. I personally felt there is no difference, so in this part of the video, I'm gonna walk you through how to create applications using specific ChatGPT prompts. You guys ready? Let's get started. So first, let's go to step 1. Now, the first thing I want you to do is think of something that you like, okay? I like dogs. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, Daryl, there's no way I can make an application about dogs. There's just no way. You gotta ask ChatGPT. I like dogs. I wanna create an AI app with Lovable that relates to dogs that I can monetize. Can you give me 20 ideas? And believe it or not, they're gonna give you some really good ideas. Look at this, a bark translator app. This records dog barks and it lets them know how the dog is feeling. I mean, I'm actually curious to see what the AI would tell me how my dog is feeling, right? That's actually interesting. Next, we have something like an AI diet planner for dog. This is actually funny because my mom actually bought a book on how to feed the puppies. So you can actually, invite people to your website and then show them how to feed specific breeds of dogs. We also have a talking dog video creator, a dog breed identifier. That means you take a picture of a dog and the website will tell you what kind of dog it is. So obviously you can see there is a lot of different ideas the AI can give you. So I personally recommend to create an application around something that you actually like. I personally think that if you're making this application just to make money and you don't really like the application, you don't really have passion. So you need passion. So ask ChatGPT for ideas for AI apps with Lovable that relate to something that you like that's also monetizable, and the AI should give you plenty of ideas. Now, after you pick an idea, let's talk about how to create the prompt. Now, I've already created the prompts for you, and you can actually have access to this same prompt in the video description just in case you want to study it and take a look. I want to create a privacy policy in TNOS generator for online businesses and e-commerce websites. Now, this is important. Can you create an AI prompt Lovable's 4-phase process as instructed in the Lovable docs? Make sure that you instruct the AI to research the Lovable docs to understand what Lovable wants. Also, be as creative as you can. When you add this sentence in, it'll actually expand on it and it'll get a little bit more creative, and your app will be a little bit more unique and not so generic. My audience is based in the United States as well. This is helpful because sometimes certain countries have specific cultures, and depending on the country, it'll sort of make something around that specific culture, making sure that your audience is more connected to that application. So once you enter that in, you will then receive a response from AI, and then they will create a 4-phase process for Lovable AI. So the first is phase 1, and this is the strategy. So this is essentially telling the AI what we want. So I want to create a privacy policy and TOS generator. And then here it sort of gives a lot of information about what we're looking for. Phase 2 is the features and functionality. So now we're breaking down, I want it to do this, I want it to do this, and so on and so forth. Phase 3 is the user experience and flow. So we have the landing page, the form flow, the results page, and then we also have the pro upsell. And then phase 4 is just more of the technical aspects about the type of front end and back end, the database, and so on and so forth. So you should receive a prompt that looks just like this. Now, personally, I think that once you generate this, you got to add a little bit more. So the next step is I want to create more of a corporate style. Also, I want this to be called legal docs. Also, expand on each section and add in more features. When you say expand, you're essentially saying, I want you to be more detailed and more descriptive about the prompt. Once you do that, it's gonna get a little bit more technical and a little bit more creative. So scrolling down, you'll see that it's a lot more descriptive. As you can tell, the phase 1 is a lot larger. It has a lot more going on, a lot more information for the AI, and that's good. Phase 2, you'll see that it has the different steps. So now it's actually creating a wizard of exactly what we want the process for our customers to go through. We have more generator engine, we have output options, and we have dashboards, customer dashboard, admin dashboard, and then here we have pro features. Don't worry, we'll talk about that in just a bit. Phase 3, we're just having a more descriptive experience of the user flow. And then for phase 4, the technical aspects you'll see are a lot larger. So now we have a lot more going on, a lot more creativity, which means a more sophisticated app. Now, after you get this prompt, I personally recommend that you take out the pro features. So during this creation of this, you're gonna see that it makes a lot of these pro options where they can upgrade to the pro. Make sure to take that out. So for example, I just put take out the pro features because Lovable AI is much better at creating pro features than ChatGPT. So after we do that, it's then going to regenerate the actual prompt and just take out the pro features. So we have all of these different, we have all the same thing. It's just no pro features. So once you actually go to the process and you create your application, or you get an idea of what you want and generate your prompt, you're then going to copy all this. So you're going to copy everything up here all the way to phase 1. Okay. Actually, no, we're going to do all this. So even the title, we're going to scroll down and we're going to copy all of this. Not the AI, okay, just this, copy this. And then we're going to hop back over to Lovable and we're just going to enter this in. So over here, okay, so I'm going to paste this in and then I'll hit on generate. So this process might take anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes. Now, while this is generating, I want to show you all a shortcut and also kind of a trick on how to generate any kind of app that you want with this same prompt. Okay, so here's the secret. So since we entered in all that information, ChatGPT remembered what we typed in. Now we can use that same process and we can ask it to create different kind of apps using that same thing that we entered in. For example, I want to create an email generator for my customers. Can you use the same 4-phase process that we created and create an email generator with Lovable? Also, I want a minimal style theme with gradients. Now, this is where you can get creative. So it's going to take what we entered in and then you can give it different styles. You can give it a Pokemon style, a friendly style, gradient style, anything that you can think of. And it's going to take that same 4-phase process and implement the design in the prompt. So let's go ahead and run this prompt. So check this out. Now it's going to create the same 4-phase process, but for a different application. So here we have Lovable's AI prompt for a minimal email generator. We have phase 1. It has all the, all the information for phase 1. Phase 2, now the user is going to input their business name, website, and so on and so forth. And then for phase 3, you'll see it has a completely different user experience. And then phase 4, technical aspects such as the front end, the back end, and also the logic. Now you can keep doing this and create a bunch of different applications. Here at the bottom, you'll see I typed in, actually create a Pokemon card identifier using this same process. And it's gonna remember everything it did, and it's just gonna recreate another application. And bam, just like that, we now created a brand new app that we can feed to Lovable. So if you actually read this, it's completely different. I don't want you to think it's the same. So on tap photo, instant match. We have the brand and visual direction. So now they have a completely different design. The features and functionality, the user can actually upload images and this AI tool will recognize the card and let them know what kind of card is. So using this same method, this is how you can create various applications with Lovable. That's a really cool hack, and that's exactly how I created a bunch of different applications using this same 4-phase process. Now with all that said, let's go back to Lovable and check our application. All right, and after waiting about 4 minutes, it now generated this website. Now I recommend to just give your app a walkthrough, so just test it out. So here we have our business info. Let's just put this in, all right. Now for every application that you create, I definitely recommend you just give it a walkthrough. You're definitely probably gonna run into errors on your first try. I don't think the AI will ever create an application that has 0 errors, but who knows, it might, Here I put in our personal information and our cookies, okay. Next, what type of business? Professional services, we offer refunds. Warranty disclaimer, okay. And here we have our business information. And then I'll click on generate documents. All right, cool. We have our privacy policy and our TOS. Users can either copy and paste it, really cool. They can copy and paste it onto their websites, or they can download it and take a look at it. And there we go. So I think this works just fine. This is actually probably better than the first one I made. Wow, this one's actually really good. Okay, so far, so good. Let's test out this email button. Let's see what that's all about. Oh, look at that. So I can just email this directly to anybody I want. Really cool. It's actually a really cool feature. I should probably add this on my other websites. So now you can see the application's working. Now, if you got a result that you did not want and you want to retry, I highly recommend not to do it here. You must actually open up a new tab and start over and enter in the prompt again. The reason why is because the AI will actually carry a lot of this information and it'll drag it onto the next design. So every time you start a new project, always start from scratch. Okay, just go to Lovable and enter in here and you'll get a very different result. So now that we connected the application, let's say that you built your application and you got something that is workable, you must connect Supabase. So the next step is to connect Supabase. This is essentially your backend. Whenever you store information like customers' information or an email or a credit card information or webhooks, you must have a database to store everything. So let's go back here, and the first option is clicking on Connect Supabase. Now, if you don't have a Supabase account, you can make one completely for free. Here, I'll click on Connect to Projects, and I will select an email. Here's my email. Now, for those of you watching this video for the first time, you must make a brand new account. So you'll go through the process of signing up with Supabase, and then you'll create your own project. Once you create a project, it'll then showcase the email for that project, and all you gotta do is just click on that email and then connect it, just like that. And once you do that, the project connected. So essentially what it'll do here is it's gonna start creating tables in the back end. It's gonna create a whole database. And right here, it'll let you know. So it created customer profiles, orders, reviews, and everything else. This is essentially just storing the information so the website's functional. So let's go ahead and scroll down. You'll see that people can now make accounts and log in. They can store and use real data. And then they can also use advanced features like edge functions, which is required if we want to have like payments and webhooks and stuff like that. So now that we've actually done that, we've integrated this, we can now move on to the next step. Now the next step is to implement security fixes and debug. Now the AI will not tell you that things are broken. You have to instruct it to find them. So let's do that. Here we go. Implement security fixes and debug website. That's all you have to do. After you do this, this is actually going to go through the application and it's going to test things and it's going to find bugs throughout your website. Okay, so it found some critical issues already. I'll go ahead and approve these changes. A lot of the time it's fixing the database. What's really cool about this tool is that it actually syncs up with your database and AI will actually create the tables in the back end. So that's a really big thing, because if you didn't have AI to do this, you'd have to hire a backend developer, but now AI will do it for free. Pretty cool. Okay, now sometimes you'll get this information where you need to actually adjust things in the back end. This happens sometimes, but in my case it did. So here I'll click on Fix Auth Settings. So this is a very common issue that you're gonna have with new applications is authentication. In order to get here, you'll go into the Supabase accounts, go to authentication. Essentially what this is you're just trying to protect the credentials of people who are on your websites. Now here I'll go to, I'll scroll down. So this notice here is just saying that they recommend that the links expire after 1 hour. If you want to actually have the links expire before 1 hour and get rid of this really annoying notice, all you got to do is just change this to like 3,400 or something, here 3,400. And that should get rid of the notice. Yeah, so now it's gone, okay? So yeah, that's if you want to go that route. But yeah, it's up to you, it's your application. I'm just kind of the middleman here. Let's go back on over here to the application. All right, party people, in this part of the video, now we're gonna make changes and adjust the website. Now, I'll be very upfront and honest with all of you. This process takes a long time, okay? Now, me personally, when I created these applications, you're gonna spend a lot of your time adding in features, correcting the AI, but this is the part where you're gonna design the website and you're going to really implement the features that you want on your application. And sometimes when you're making these applications, I'll be honest, like I said before, you're gonna have to do a lot of correcting and fixing with the AI, so just be aware of that, all right? So in this part of the video, we're now going to implement features and then we're going to build the application using prompts. Y'all ready? Let's go. So we incorporated the database and we also debugged the website. Now let's add in the starter prompts. Let's go on over here to Evernote. We're gonna scroll down and I recommend to just copy and paste this. So what this is gonna do, it's gonna fix a lot of issues. The first issue you've seen over here is we don't have a menu. I don't think we have a footer. We don't have a customer dashboard. We have no pages at all. This prompt right here will actually create all of this for us. So it'll actually create a menu if none, fix header elements, create a customer dashboard, all this other stuff. So we're gonna copy all this, okay? Right up to there, copy this. I'll probably get rid of these, but we'll talk more about that, why I put that there. And then I'm gonna paste this here. This might take anywhere between like, I don't know, it might take like 2 minutes just because creating custom dashboards, so you might get notices here on the left side that want you to update your database. The Stripe API key, I'll go ahead and skip this for now just because I don't want to enter that. We'll talk more about pro features a little bit later. Like I mentioned before, you're gonna get that a lot because it has to create like tables in the backend for your customer dashboard and your admin dashboard. All right, so that added a lot more functionality to the website. So now we have a menu here at the top, we have a pricing option, we have sign in. Here we have a footer here at the bottom. And now we also have other pages like the dashboard, we have pricing, and a few other things. Now, before we do anything else, we now need to debug the website. So for instance, if I click on the About Us page, I got a broken link. Also, for the contact as well, it's not working. Now we can choose to actually ask the AI to fix those directly, or we can just ask it to debug the website entirely. So here we go. Please debug the website and fix all broken pages and links. Okay, so after we've done that, you'll now see that we have all of the pages. We don't have any broken links, so the website is working. It's a little bit more optimal. Now, the next thing that we're gonna do is if you actually click on this plus right here and we go over to dashboard, this might actually bring you to a login screen where you cannot actually view the page or you can't design it. The same thing with your admin page. So this is our admin page, but the issue here is that we don't have admin credentials. Now in that prompt I gave you, I actually did command it to actually give us admin credentials, but for some reason it just did not do that. So we have to ask it again directly. So over here, I'm gonna go ahead and paste this in. So create me an admin in the database so I can access all parts of the website, including customer dashboard and admin page. Give me complete access to the entire website and provide admin credentials. This will essentially make it where you can log into the websites and you can make changes and modifications. Okay, so after approving a few databases, you'll now see that it wants us to sign up using this specific email and password. So right here, instead of clicking on sign in, I'll click on sign up. Okay, now one thing I also want to disable in the database settings is I want to make sure that I don't have to confirm this email because we are using a test email right now. So I'm going to click on save changes right here. I recommend to turn this off while you're building the websites. Let's go back on over here to Lovable and we're going to sign in now. So click on create an account. All right, and after we do that, it now logs us into our dashboard. So this is a customer dashboard here. So your customers will have an overview of their documents, orders. They can also generate new documents and they'll be available right here in their accounts. They can view their orders, analytics, settings, and so on and so forth. Now this is the customer dashboard. So now we need to create an admin dashboard with the admin credentials. Now your AI may have created this for you automatically or may not. I actually need to create an admin account because under the pages right here, I do not have an admin dashboard. So create me an admin panel for the admin and show all customers info, sales orders, and allow us to view the orders, etc. I went ahead and I created a custom dashboard for my admin. Now I did have one issue. So when I actually tried to log into admin, it actually redirected me to customer dashboard. So essentially what I had to do here was I had to let them know that this was happening. And I says, create a switching icon. So only me as the admin can switch between admin and also customer dashboard. And once I did that, here we have the customer dashboard, but I can also log in with the admin panel as well. So here's my admin panel where I can view all information about my websites. We can see the users, the orders, documents, emails, settings, and right here under users, you'll see that we have our own user. So everyone who registers on your website should be displayed in your user management or your admin dashboard. Now the next thing to do, of course, is debug the website. So over here, once I actually created this dashboard, I think I had some broken links. Yeah, right here, broken links. So I'm gonna ask it to debug the website again and let them know that I have some broken links on the website. You're gonna have to do this every time you create something and it's kind of working, then you have to debug it and make sure there's no issues around it. Okay, so here I'll go ahead and debug the website again. So yeah, like I mentioned before, a lot of your time is gonna be spending just kind of chilling. I personally play video games when I'm using Lovable because a lot of the time you're just debugging and waiting for this to finish. And I know this can be very time consuming, but just make sure that you debug the website every time you make a big change to your website. Okay, so at this point, I would say this website is basically functional. We have a website that is working. Now, what we can do here is test everything again. So after you make all the adjustments and you think that you got what you want, just try it out one more time and just see what happens. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and fill this out. Okay, so I went ahead and I filled all this information out and I'll click on generate documents and just make sure that everything's working still. So here we go, download, and everything looks great. Now, the next thing I wanna do is, now that we actually have a lot of the technical aspects done, I want the user to actually be able to make accounts on my websites, and I also want to further design the websites. You might wanna do this before you incorporate the actual pro version. So if you do wanna make more design aspects to your website, you should do it before you incorporate the pro features. So let me go ahead and walk you through this really quick. Now notice here at the top, I don't have a menu, so I can't go back. So I should probably ask the AI for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and adjust the menu. Okay, so here we go. I can go ahead and navigate back to the actual home. They created this really cool menu right there. Look at that. Now, one thing I also want to mention is you can actually design specific parts of the website. Notice here how, let's talk about the design aspect. Here, this text is just, it's way too close to the menu. So what we can do here is we can adjust specific elements on the actual website. So down here, I'll click on edits, and right here, I want this more in the center of the page, and I want to add some padding above this. So here we have asking for quick changes. So put this in the center above. So the text is more in the center. So what you can do here is you can go throughout your website, you can click on edits, and then you can modify and design specific elements on the website. If you want to get rid of something, all you need to do is just click on the element, and then you'll see this trash can icon. Here you can go ahead and just completely delete elements. And if you want the AI to change something, you can just go ahead and ask for it right there. Now, if you want to see your website live on like an actual domain and not on this like builder, there's two ways you can do this. You can click on hide sidebar, and this will show you what your website looks like, without the actual sidebar. You can also click on this preview, and this will open up your website in a preview tab where users can go ahead and, you can test it out and stuff. So here we can, you can go through it and test it out and see if it's working. Okay, so at this point, the app is functional. We have the website working, we have customer and admin dashboards. Now, before we go on to the pro features and integrate payment gateways, if you want to change the design of your website, this is where you should do it. Now, I'm gonna go over here to ChatGPT, and I'm gonna enter in something. So the design is a little boring. Can you create a creative and modern design with gradients and an American-made theme? During the checkout process, add a gradient bar for the step. Also, I want a light and dark mode feature. I only want the design, do not change the functions. The reason why I put that is because what happens here is it'll generate the designs, but it won't change the function. So it shouldn't actually create everything all over from scratch. It's just gonna give you the design options. Now here at the top, I think this is good. I just wanna take this. I don't really wanna take all this other stuff because this is where it wants to change the layout and components. So when you do generate that prompt, go ahead and just only take the design and color palettes. Also, if you want to change the theme of your website, this is where you should do it. So let's go on over here back to Lovable, and I'm going to enter in this prompt. Okay, and then I'll press and enter. Now here's a side note. When you're building the application and you're creating features, just remember that when you're creating the features, sometimes other features may stop working. My personal experience is when I was creating that visual document editor, when I would add a feature to something, sometimes other features would stop working. So when you are creating your application, just be aware of that and always debug just in case you're not like building on top of something that's already broken. So with that said, let's jump back to the video. Okay, so now we have the website, more design, and we have some flavor to it. Now let's talk about how to incorporate more features and then also integrate pro features as well. Now the first thing that we should think about here is when you're creating your application, you need to think of the UX process. So where do you want them to go and how are you gonna upsell them? Now during the creation of their legal document, we should probably add an upsells right here to encourage them to buy something. Really quick, I'm gonna go ahead and go to the end here. But what I also want to talk about is how you want them to upgrade to the pro or how you want them to buy something. Now, what I recommend here is after they actually generate these documents, you should give them the option to create an account automatically, and then you can upsell them in their dashboard. That is a great tactic. You can also upsell them on the way, but let's go ahead and do that. So what I want to do here is once they generate their free documents or their free whatever, I want them to make a free account where then I can upsell the pro version. So here I'm going to ask Lovable. After the users have generated their documents, allow them to automatically create an account with an email and password. Once they log in, then redirect users to their customer dashboard. Make sure to save their documents in their customer dashboard. So right here is essentially where I want to connect them with the pro version. Many users probably will not buy the pro version on their first try. So my strategy here is to offer a really good, genuine service and then offer upsells in the dashboard once they retrieve their document. So let's do that. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so I went ahead and I incorporated this into my new feature. Now, in order to see this from a new perspective, we need to publish this application. Once we publish this application, we can then click on website address, and this will let us view the website on a new tab. So this is the actual walkthrough for customers. So this is where they can actually generate their policy. So right here, let's go ahead and just generate their policy. Now I'm gonna skip this, but you should actually tell the AI not to let users skip and make sure they enter in all the information before they go to the next step. But for development purposes, I'm just going to do this because it's much faster. Now here I'll click on generate documents. Now, once I do that, you'll see that it generates the document. However, it also gives the option to save and create an account. So I'll click on save and create an account. Right here, you'll see that we can just quickly make an account and then also sign in. So I'll go ahead and fill this out. Okay, then I'll click on create an account and save document. And just like that, boom, now your customers have access to their own customer dashboard. Now, this is the great part. This is where we can start incorporating pro features and all this other stuff in order to monetize the application. So the user has access to their document right here where they can download it. They can also, check out analytics. We don't have to put this in. We can take it out because obviously analytics wouldn't make a lot of sense. We also have settings, which we probably need to add, and then also orders. So on your own free time, what I personally recommend here is to actually ask the AI to get rid of sections in your dashboard that they don't need. They don't need orders or analytics. They just basically need overview, documents, and then maybe settings. Here they can update their account, they can manage their billing information, and also, update their email or whatever, right? So I recommend to do that and not have like these other ones. To give you an example, just to help you all out, you just simply need to instruct the AI. So this part isn't hard. So just to give you an example prompt, in the customer dashboard, remove orders and analytics. For the settings tab, create the necessary features like adjust customer info, updating credit card info, changing email, and deleting personal data. So again, this is gonna be the longest part of you creating an application, and I'm not gonna walk through everything, but I'll just give you a quick demonstration. Okay, now after we enter that prompt, you're gonna see that our dashboard looks a lot more compact and simpler, right? So we just have the overview, the documents, and then we have the settings. Here they can manage their billing and their payments, their data management, email settings, and everything else. So at this point, I would say this website is pretty much in alpha mode, so it's a functional website. So let's jump into the next section. Now, before we incorporate the pro features and payment gateways, we quickly want to optimize this for all devices. So over here, all you gotta enter in is optimize this website for all devices, including tablets and iPhones. Pretty simple. I'll go ahead and repaste that in and hit enter. So this is going to basically make sure that your mobile users have a good experience, and you can actually change the view up here by clicking on this tablets, and this will allow you to view the website from, virtually any device. I think right now it doesn't look that bad, but it needs a little bit of work, especially this logo here at the top. It's overlapping onto the rest of the screen. All right, party people. So in this part of the video, we're gonna talk about how to incorporate pro features onto your application. Now there's two ways to do this. So you can actually offer pro features during the person's procedure of doing whatever they're doing. So if they're converting something or if they are filling something out, you can offer upsells and then they can purchase those upsells at checkout. Additionally, you can just offer a standard pro version where you give them the free version, and then once they buy the pro, they unlock all the features in the pro. It's really up to you, but I'll walk you through both methods because it's actually really simple to do. Now, the first thing is getting an idea for your application. Now, there's a lot of ways on how to approach this, but my personal advice is to ask the AI. Now, I personally like to ask the AI in Lovable because they're already familiar with your project. ChatGPT, it is good, but it's just gonna spit out generic ideas, but you can always try both. So let's do that. So in order to find ideas and inspiration for your pro features for your application, here I'll click on chats, and now we're gonna ask the Lovable AI. Here we go. I want to incorporate 10 pro features for this type of application. Based on the build, what pro features can I offer? Any ideas? Now you want to make sure that you select chat. Chat is going to give you ideas without making edits to the website. So this is one really cool feature about Lovable. So they're going to understand your application and then they're going to start spitting out like different pro features. All right, and now we have a response from the AI, and this is why I prefer to do it in Lovable. So here they're incorporating the 10 pro features plus the 2 I wants, and what they're gonna do is they're gonna read the database and they're gonna understand the website and the build, so they get a better understanding of how to implement this versus ChatGPT. Below that, you'll see that they have an idea of how to incorporate this. They're gonna update the database, they're gonna update all these fields in the database, and then here they're gonna implement the features. And notice here how they're saying this can take around 2 to 8 weeks, but we're gonna do it in just a few minutes. Scrolling down, you'll see they're gonna incorporate all these different features. And below that here at the bottom, they have an option to implement the actual plan. Now, when you click on this, it's gonna take you out of chat mode and it's going to actually run this and it's actually going to adjust your website. So just realize that if you click on this button, it's going to then implement these pro features on your website. So just be certain these are what you want. So I'll click on implement these pro features. All right, so now it incorporated the pro features. Now the issue here is that when you incorporate the pro features sometimes, depending on how the AI feels, I guess you can say, it's not going to showcase them on the website. So now I'm asking the AI, can you add the option to upgrade to the pro version in the customer dashboard? Also offer the pro features while the user is generating their form. Use a purple and cyan gradients. Explain what the pro features do in each customer dashboard and implement each pro feature. So essentially what I'm doing here is I want to showcase the pro versions in the dashboard and also the part where they're generating the form. And I also want to create like gradient like boxes that really capture their attention in order for them to upgrade to the pro. Okay, so after I ran that prompt, now if I go to start generating now, during the process of them building their form, they're now going to get upsold the pro version right here in this really nice purple and cyan color. If we go to every single page, you're also going to see that demonstrates on every page. So you'll see that we're offering the pro for each individual page. I did it a different route on my other websites. I put it near the end and then offered like bits and parts during the actual process of them building their TOS. And if they want to go ahead and upgrade here, they'll click on the actual upgrade form, and this will bring them to the pricing plans. So here we've generated a few different pricing plans. Now, I haven't really instructed the AI which features I want in each specific plan. I personally recommend to create two plans, a free plan and a pro plan. I think offering all these other different plans, it just makes things really complicated. So me personally, I like the idea of just 1 to 2 different pricing options. So I'll just instruct the AI really quick saying, look, I only want 2 pricing plans, just put a free and a pro and just make the pro cost $1. You know, something really simple. And with the power of video editing, now we have 2 options. We have a free and a pro. I think something like this is just a lot more simpler, right? Now, if I decide to click on this, it's going to say that it's going to redirect us, but we haven't implemented any payment merchants, so it's not going to redirect them just yet. I want to make sure that we have everything ready to go before we jump into like webhooks and stuff like that. Now, the last thing I want to show you all before we actually talk about the webhooks and payments is the actual dashboard. So in the dashboard here as well, you'll see that we have pro features, and it implemented the pro features in the dashboard, and this needs a lot of cleanup. Now, I'm not going to go through and do all of this because this process might take anywhere between like 3 to like 8 hours. For me to actually achieve what I achieved on my other website, that took me about like 8 to 10 hours. So I'll just do something real quick and then we'll implement payment gateways. So here's just a quick example. So for the pro feature, create a visual document editor. Now, essentially, this will allow users to build a custom form from scratch, allow them to upload a logo, create their own signature, and allow them to select the policies and drag and drop them on a visual form they can download. Also, allow them to visually drag and drop and place elements with this form. I say that twice because sometimes they don't do it the right way. But next I put, next offer a variety of templates the user can choose that will change the colors. Let the user download this feature as a PDF and Word doc file. Also give them the option to export as a text file. So let's go ahead and just run this prompt. Now, sometimes I'm a little broad with this description, and that's because I want to see what the AI can generate. And once they generate something, I might get an idea like, oh, I like that. I should incorporate that. I've actually done that many times building applications. So sometimes I actually get inspiration from these apps just by the response they give me. And after waiting about 5 minutes, it finally did it. Now, if we scroll down, you're gonna see it's offering really cool pro features. Now, we don't have a lot of these pro features, but the one that we did create is right here. So this is the visual document editor. And look at this. So now users can actually drag and drop specific elements. They can also create their own signature. And here they can actually generate policy and then place those policies. But as you can see, it's a little broken. So the thing is with the signature, I can't write my own. So I'm gonna instruct this to actually move this form above up here. And then I'm also going to basically ask it to allow users to draw in their own signature. And I want them to showcase the actual policy that they generated on the form. So let's go ahead and press enter. Now, again, guys, this is gonna take a long time, okay? So I'm just giving you a very brief introduction to this. You're gonna have to spend probably a few hours tinkering with this, as you can tell, but you can see that we're slowly building the form and it's sort of slowly coming together. Okay, and after about 20 minutes, I finally got this to work. Now, let me explain what happened. So I ran into a bunch of errors. So the first error was when a user actually selected the logo and image, nothing happened. So like they couldn't upload anything. So I had to fix that, and that eventually worked. Now what I had to do here was click on edits and click on the actual, the image, and saying when they click this button, allow them to upload an image, take that image and then place it on the actual form. Allow them to actually drag and drop it on the form. So I was very direct with the AI. Now what the AI did here that it didn't really that I didn't really understand or I didn't plan on was they actually created another tab for the logo and the signature, and I had no idea. So the user can also draw their signature right here and they can add it to the actual form. I was actually originally thinking that it was going to be done here, but they added it in 2 different places. So yeah, I mean, that it works. You know, we just got to maybe fix the format. So let's go ahead and just walk you through this. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete that. Okay. So you can add in a heading, or you can just like put in a custom text, like, you know, Daryl's place, and then add the custom text to the form. It's then added there. You can then add it in a paragraph. You can write in your own text. You can also create your own signature, add this to the form, put in a logo here. So I'll just throw in like an image. I think I got like a cheeseburger. Here we go. A McDonald's, whatever, you know, totally American, right? And then I can drag and drop this. I can rearrange it. Also, I can add in a divider. Oh, okay, that's working. And the next thing is the generated policy. So what it does here is that it pulls all the policies, and I can select one and then click on add selected policy. Now here you'll see it just demonstrates a small preview. Now I instructed the AI to actually show the entire contract in the PDF, but I said, you know, while you're editing, you don't have to do everything because it'll get very cluttered. So yeah. So essentially I've actually built an entire, you know, design visual form from scratch. And with more editing and more tinkering, we can improve this, but I think you will get the point from now. I spent about an hour editing this, but yeah, you get the point. So let's go ahead now and export this as a PDF. All right, here I'll go ahead and click on the image or the PDF. Okay, so it included everything, it just forgot the image. So all I gotta do is instruct the AI to add the image in the downloadable file, but you'll see it has the custom text, we have the entire contract, and then my signature there at the bottom. And you can put like, you know, owner's guarantee or something like that to, you know, to just like bring more confidence to your buyers. All right, party people, in this part of the video, I'm gonna walk you through how to allow users to use credit cards on your websites. Now, I'll be showing you how to integrate 2 payment gateways, PayPal and also Stripe. Now we're going to allow users to use credit cards on our website. You can also use it to allow subscriptions, which most digital products and services use today. So in this part of the video, I'm going to walk you through how to allow credit card payments on your website and also how to accept subscription-based payments on your website. Y'all ready? Let's go. So now that we've created all of this, let's go ahead now and talk about how we can actually implement pro features and offer a free and pro version. Now in the Evernote over here, we've actually created all this for you. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna copy this, okay? And we're gonna paste this in. Essentially what I'm doing here is I'm creating logic. So I'm basically saying, I'll go ahead and read this for all of you. Start all customers on the free version when they sign up and make an account. Do not give them the pro features. Offer upsells to the pro if they are on the free version in the dashboard. If they upgrade to the Pro, then grant them all the Pro features and update their dashboard and change it to the Pro version. They must purchase the subscription in order to activate the Pro plan. Once they pay, put the user on the Pro plan and unlock all the Pro features for this user. Next, once the customer has upgraded to the Pro plan, redirect users to the dashboard with their new Pro plan and update the dashboard and grant them Pro features. So I'll go ahead now and press enter. Now, essentially what I'm doing here is I'm creating the logic for the AI. So I'm giving them the rules of when I should give them the pro features and when they should be on the free version. Now, after this is implemented, we're then going to integrate payment gateways. So once we enter that in, it's now going to ask us for API keys and might even ask us for a webhook. So over here we have stripe.com. Now stripe.com is a free service. It does not cost you anything whatsoever to sign up. There is no credit check, no membership fee. They do take a small transaction for every transaction, but that is very standard in the industry. So you'll go through Stripe, make an account, fill out all the legal information, and once you do that, it'll bring you to your dashboard. So this is the Stripe dashboard, and I'll be very honest, Stripe constantly moves around their API keys. I don't know why they do that because it's the most important thing they offer. But to find the API keys, all you gotta do under the search is just type in API, and you'll click on API keys. This is going to present your publishable key and also your secret key. So we're gonna give them both of these. So I'm gonna copy this, go over here, and here is my publishable key. Publish. Okay. I'll go ahead and paste that there. And then here is my secret key. Okay, and then we're also going to paste this. All right, copy and paste. Okay. Now make sure there is no space. Okay, make sure there is no space. Once we do that, I'll click on send and also send anyways. So they're basically saying that we shouldn't send sensitive information, but the thing is, Lovable never asked for it directly, so I just gave it to them. Okay, so went ahead and it implemented the actual API keys onto the websites. Now we're not done yet, so we do need to add a webhook. Now a webhook will essentially charge a recurring subscription. So the API connects to the website and will charge their card. However, if you want recurring payments, we need to add a webhook. So they didn't ask for it, so I'm gonna create this prompt. I also want to create subscriptions for these. Should I give you my webhook? I will need an endpoint URL from you. So what's gonna happen here is they're gonna give me an endpoint and I'll be giving them the webhook. Okay, so here it is. We're gonna need this in order to create recurring subscriptions. So I'm gonna copy this, okay? And we're gonna go over here to Stripe and click on webhooks. Once we do that, I'll click on add an endpoint. Now here, I'm gonna place the endpoint URL. The description, I'm gonna explain to Stripe why I'm using this. So to capture recurring payments for my app. To capture recurring payments for my app. Now below that we have select events. Now we're gonna have to select events. Now sometimes the AI will instruct us on which to select. So let's do that. Let's see if they instructed us. They did. We have the checkout session, customer subscription created, and these ones right here. So we're gonna have to select these events. So over here, let's drag this here. I think the first one is checkout session completed. So under the checkouts, we're gonna select checkout session completed, okay? You can select all of them if you want, it really doesn't matter. But yeah, that's if you wanna go that route. For the customer, we're gonna put subscription created, updated, and deleted. Okay, and for customer, subscription updated. Okay, here it is, customer subscription created, updated, and deleted, right? Okay. And then we're gonna select the last one, which is invoice payment succeeded and failed. Okay, invoice payment, we can do created too. So let's do that one, why not? We also have payment succeeded, okay, and also failed. And I think that's it. Here, click on add events, scroll to the bottom and click on add endpoints. Now here is the signing secrets, and I'm gonna give this to Lovable. All right. So here is the signing secret. Okay, so here is the signing secret for the webhook. I'll go ahead and give this to the AI. So they're asking for it again, so I'll just paste it again right here and click on submit. Okay, so they stored the webhook. Now it looks like everything here worked successfully. Now we can charge customers $1 a month. Awesome, yeah. Now before we go any further, let's hop back to our old Evernote over here and we're going to implement fixes and debug again. Now we also want to test the webhooks and we want to test the connection. So let's just see if they're all working. All right, so can you implement security fixes and debug the website and also test the webhooks and API? So it looks like everything went successfully. Now the last thing is if you want to integrate PayPal, just give them your email. So can you also integrate PayPal? Here is my email. Okay, so my website is completely debugged at this point. Now, the very last thing that I wanna show you all before we jump into the actual checkout process is the contact form. Now, I personally recommend to create a table in the database that routes all of the messages. Can you create a table in the database for my contact form called Daryl's Messages? Place all the contact information when the user fills out my contact form in the database. Now, what this is gonna do here is it's actually going to go into the table editor. It's gonna create a new specific table, and then it's going to place all the messages there. Now, I know checking your messages here really sucks. So I've actually created another video right here that'll actually show you how to route from your Lovable website to your email. It's about 20 minutes long, but we use N8N and we essentially take all of the emails and you can route it to various platforms like Slack, like Gmail, and a lot of other various platforms. It's completely free to do this, but if you want to learn more about how to route your emails with AI, I definitely recommend to watch that video. So going back to my table editor, if we actually click on table editor right here, you'll see a new little form right here, and this is Daryl's Messages. So what we're gonna do here is you can fill this form out. So if a user fills out their form, I'll click on send message. And if we check the actual database, it should pop up here any second. So maybe I should refresh the page here. Okay, there it is. So Daryl Wilson, and there is the phone number and all the information. So that is how you can receive messages from your AI generated websites. So now that we have all this finished, let's go ahead now and click on publish, and let's publish this application. Here, I'll click on publish, and now we're gonna have a live test transaction. Okay, so I'm on a brand new browser. This is the Opera browser, and I'm gonna click on start generating now, and we're gonna fill this out. So here, Daryl, all right? And we'll go ahead and just, put some info here. Okay, next, and just select some information, okay? Here we have our upsells, really nicely, really cool, all right? Here we'll just select some other stuff, okay? And lastly, we have this review your information, and then I'll click on generate documents. Okay. Now also when I generate the documents, you notice how I have to scroll up. You can instruct the AI for users to automatically start from the top on every next page if you want to go that route. Here I'll click on save and create accounts, and I'll create an account. Okay, so I had to use another email because that one was already registered. I'll click on create an account. So this is the dashboard for the free users, and right away it'll offer them the pro version for $1 a month. Scrolling down, it'll let them know about custom branding, export options, and everything else that we offer. If I click on Pro Features and scroll down, we have the visual document editor. But what's really cool here is I wanted to give them a taste. So they can edit this, they can use this at their own will to see if they like it or not, just to try it out. And if they want to actually use this, then they'll have to upgrade to the Pro. So they cannot export this as a PDF, but they can tinker around with it and mess around with it and see if they like it. So this is generally what the free users will see, but let's just say, okay, we got the free version. They can access their downloads. They can upgrade to the Pro. Let's upgrade to the Pro now. Here, click on upgrade to Pro. And now let's go to the checkout process. So we have credit card and we also have PayPal. So I'll click on upgrade to Pro. And now it's gonna redirect me to checkout. And I'll just select a card and I'll put my email. So I'll put in, here we go, PC Hoarder. Now for test mode, you're just gonna enter in 424242 all the way. Okay, make sure it's 4242. And then you can enter in any random number. And then here, I'll just put in my name. There we go, subscribe. Okay, so let's just see if this is connected and working. Okay, it's processing now. And bam, it looks like now we have pro features. Now it looks like there are some mistakes still that the AI made. So it's still making an admin for this user. I'm not sure why. So yeah, I'll just have to ask the AI to restrict the admin access for this user. I don't know why I gave it to them, but now you'll see that they have the design tools. They can go ahead and implement all this, and they can use a signature, and they can also export this as a PDF file. So that is how you can create a application website and integrate e-commerce features. Now we're not done yet. We need to actually check Stripe to see if this actually registered with Stripe. Okay, so going over here to Stripe, and it looks like right there, it is now accepted, and you can see the difference. So it's $4 and now it is $5. So it is a $1 subscription. All right, party people, thank you all for watching this video. Now, if you have any questions for me about AI, or if you want to know how I made specific projects, let me know in the comments below. I've been using this tool for a very long time, and I pretty much know how to make anything. I know how the AI works. I know the process. It is a grind, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, that's that. So if you have any questions for me about the AI tool or anything else, let me know in the comments below and we'll go from there. My name is Daryl Wilson. Good luck on your application, and I'll see all of you party people later.